Inside TD Garden, I am Joseph Pavone alongside Bobby Manning, where the Boston Celtics just topped the Philadelphia 76ers 88-87. And it was Jason Tatum leading the way. 26 points, 16 rebounds, a career high in rebounds, and of course, he had a double-double by halftime. So you sort of had the sense that he was going to come up big in this one, but on the offensive end, 26 points, we weren't quite sure we were going to get there. He had to really fight for those against the Philadelphia 76ers, and his approach, I think, is something that's seeing Tatum taking that step into the right direction. It's going to go a long way for this team, of course, right before the West Coast road trip, right, Bobby?
Yeah, and it's a culmination of a good week where it starts with the meltdown in San Antonio, called out for finding rhythm early on. It was a call of the whole team, but most specifically applied to Tatum through more shooting struggles out there. Comes back, gets 10 assists against Toronto, answers some of the playmaking questions that were out there about him coming off that game, and then in this one, starting 1 of 6, finishing 9 of 20. He worked through some physicality here. Joel Embiid in the paint, taking that lane away from him, and basically went to the mid-range and shot over this defense and had a great game doing it, including, I don't know if you want to call it the game winner, the game icer. It was the game winner after 82-82.
It was a clincher for sure.
Yes, he breaks the tie there, gets heavy defense pressure against them, knocking him down, maybe a foul, maybe not, but most importantly this year, when the refs have been lighter on foul calls, he hit it. So it didn't matter, and they end up winning because of it. So a huge moment. Feels like his first game-winning shot in a while, and they needed it because he has missed so many in those spots to start this year, just as he has a million shots to a really rough start here.
Right.
For him to be able to work through a struggle and finally finish having a good game in the end, huge jump for him just from a week ago.
I love that shot. I love the fact that he was able to put that together at the end of the game. But the way this one played out at the end, I think that's the kind of win that's going to bode well moving forward. The defensive side of things. Of course, Robert Williams, that block at the end of this one. I think heading into the West Coast road trip, whether Rob can play the whole time, we have to, of course, keep an eye on him. We have to keep our fingers crossed here. But when Jason Tatum talks about him as a security blanket, how much of a difference he is out there, I think that's something that speaks volumes.
Yeah, and he gives Tatum an outlet for some lobs, as he did early in the game. Smart especially finds him pretty often there. So big plus. I thought that block at the end of the game was the best picturesque switching play, with Horford moving out to the perimeter, hounding Harris, taking advantage of some of the extra contact that they're allowing with the refs there. Rob gets out to the perimeter. Brown denies the ball inside against Embiid there. That was just the most beautiful defensive play I've seen all year from them. But Tatum, through it all, still kind of hearing the noise. A little frustrated with being called selfish, I think, alluding to that ESPN piece there.
I seen a report the other day that said I was a selfish player. That seems pretty unselfish of me. But, whatever it takes for us to win. I guess more often than not, it's going to be in my hands. But we play 82-some games in regular season. It's going to be certain nights where, you might need to space the floor, take the best defender away out the action, and see what we get.
So they're hearing what's going on the outside. They're responding to it positively. Good in this last week here. Good that they're doing that. So their ears are up, the antennas are up. They're hearing what's on the outside. Of course, alluding to that ESPN piece, I'm sure, by Tim Bontemps there that said maybe Tatum's good with a win if he scores 39, maybe not as good with a win as he scores 17. And he does a little bit of both this week. Lower scoring game against Toronto, high assists. High scoring game here, low assists. Giving the game what it needs, which is where Tatum needs to get to, right? He's not going to have a good season this year, I don't think. But if he can give the team what it needs each night to get a win, I think that's a good season for him in spite of that.
I like chip on the shoulder Tatum. I'm calling that now. Chip on the shoulder Tatum, because you're seeing the difference, and I think it resonates with the entire team. Obviously when you see your best player out there putting forth, the right amount of effort, it resonates. And you look at when in games and stretches when he struggles, to see him adapt and go stay with the program, so to speak. I feel like that's been the ongoing line of this team and Ime Udoka. And listen, Bobby, every superstar sort of has his part in their career, right? Maybe it's year 4, year 5 when people start to question that player. The player hasn't won a championship, hasn't gotten to the finals. I mean, what we're seeing from Jason Tatum, we've seen before. It's just all about how that player is going to respond to all that noise.
Yeah, and I asked Ime about that. Like, how much patience do you have to do this? What's the key to making sure this is consistent? Because Tatum does the right thing some nights. Other nights, he's looking for rhythm, or he's trying to get his own shot, or he's not moving off the ball. And Ime said, we went through this with Tony Parker. Popovich was showing this guy film for a decade, trying to consistently get him off the ball.
And those two clashed a lot.
Make the right play. in
that took a
sense.
while.
Yeah, so other stars have gone through this, certainly. Ime has kind of gotten the blueprint on how to handle it, how to be patient with it and persistent as a coach. Not slamming him every single day, but showing the right things in the film room,
Right.
and gently nudging him in the media. I think that's the right way to go here. And listen, intent was never the issue with Tatum. I think he's trying to do the right thing. It's just his role is different now. He can't solve everything with the scoring, and he needs to start to trust some teammates who don't always come through, but he needs to push to come through. And we're seeing a little bit better of that. And listen, 16 rebounds, things like that show that the effort's there. The effort is definitely there. So it's just got to be consistency. Is he going to do it on this West Coast trip? That's the question going forward.
It wasn't a pretty win. Ime Udoka actually apologized for such an ugly win. But as they say, a win is a win. The Boston Celtics topped the Philadelphia 76ers 88-87 here at TD Garden. And this segment of the Garden Report is sponsored by Calm. If you haven't downloaded it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because we have a premium offer for you just for watching this show. That's right. It's calm.com/garden. For Bobby Manning, I am Josue Pavone. We'll see you guys next time.